All right, folks, I want to just talk about student loans just a little bit. I know Obama's been out there hitting the college campuses trying to get these young skulls full of mush to vote for him again, promising cheap money. I mean, come on, isn't that getting a little bit old now? Every problem the government can solve, just throw money at it. Well, let me talk to the students here, maybe the parents of students. I've got uh, two thoughts on how to make college more affordable. One, stop doing student loans. Seriously, the government goes out there, they pump billions and billions and billions of dollars into the hands of these students, and the colleges know that these kids are going to have all this cash, and so there's really no incentive for these colleges to compete with one another, simply because they know these kids are going to have the money in one form or fashion. Now, this creates another problem. Kids go out, spend all this money, tens and tens of thousands of dollars, to get an education. Well, problem is they spend so much money, they can't afford to hardly pay it back, or it's going to take them, decades to pay it back. So, it's frankly, I think these liberal, pointy-headed, elitist professors and purveyors at these universities. They love the student loan program. They think it's great. They call it opportunity. In fact, it's indentured servitude to the government. It creates you dependent on them. Fact is if the government quit doing these loans, there would be a lot less money out there. Fewer students would theoretically be able to go to college because they wouldn't have the money to go to college. Fact is, colleges would then have to compete for that business, driving prices down. That's one of the things that can be done to make college affordable. Get rid of student loans. Go to banks. The way it traditionally was done. Number of things will happen. It'll just keep it'll keep these kids who are just going to college just to party and slack off and spend all this taxpayer money and get lousy grades. People who truly want to go to college will go to college. So my second thought is, why doesn't the government negotiate with universities and colleges the same way that they do with hospitals and doctors? Why do they just the college raised the tuition rate? Geez, let's just go ahead and let's throw more money at them. Oh, geez, it costs more to go to college, so let's give them more money. How about go in there and negotiate and say, look, if you want a student that's using federal dollars, hang on, not federal dollars, I'm sorry, taxpayer dollars, then you're going to negotiate with us. You're going to take 50 cents on the dollar for tuition. You know what? I've got Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance. And that's what they do. They go and they negotiate prices with doctors and hospitals, and it works out well. And believe it or not, they have, I am 100% happy with my coverage. So discounted prices does not mean poor quality. It's actually good business sense. And if the government, and yet again, this is a reason why government shouldn't be involved in these things. They don't have the authority in the Constitution to do this. They want to hide behind the, who called it the good and plenty clause. That doesn't fly. The general welfare clause does not apply here. All they've managed to do is drive up the cost of education and, just kind of wreck the whole system. So, if they were serious about wanting people to be educated, look at getting out of student loans altogether. That would drive the price, again, it would drive the price down. If they're going to stay in the student loan business, which we all know, once you get a government program, they ain't going to cut it. Like I said, negotiate prices. Go into these universities and say, look, because I guarantee you, I would say a huge percentage of the money flowing into these colleges and universities come from the student loan program. So if these people want these students and they want to put your kids in their classrooms, they're going to have to accept 50 cents on the dollar. And no, well, maybe you won't have like Harvard, tens of billions of billion with a B, billions of dollars in endowments. Yeah, billions of dollars just basically sitting there, and yet they maintain this high price of going to college. I mean, and Harvard's not alone. All the schools do it. I believe the University of Texas is in the $1 billion+. Even a school like Kansas State, K State, I think they're in $700+ million. Why do they need to be sitting on all this money? I don't understand why they sit on these endowments and charge outrageous fees to go to their university. But anyway, those are just a few thoughts, and this is not just me as someone who's tired of paying for kids who slough off in school, but I also have two teenage daughters that are working up to that point and eventually will be in college. I certainly don't want them to have to go into debt to get an education. I certainly hope when they do go, they'll choose a field in which they can make a good living and pay the loans back. Because frankly, they'll agree to take the loan. That is, once you sign on that dotted line, you agree to pay that back, and you ought to pay it back. That's your word. That's your bond, and we need to be teaching that as well. So anyway, those are just a couple of things that come off the top of my head. I think we need to tell the president, basically, shut the hell up. I don't know of a more politically incorrect way to say it. He has no clue. He's in over his head. He's got no clue what he's doing with anything in this government. And student loans is just, frankly, it's just another thing that he's piss poor at doing. And this just kind of all got brought on. I saw him at a university just over there pandering, trying to pass out money. And these little college drones just, oh, yeah, they think it's great. Well, it's not their money. They have nothing invested. So anyway, something to consider, and we'll maybe talk about immigration next. So think about it. If you agree with me, spread the message and urge your Congress folks to act on it.